Well, it is certain that Don Schumacher Racing can hang their hat on one top shoe in his fleet, actually two, if you count his son Tony Schumacher. But Antron Brown has been on fire all season in 2012. He beats out Tony Schumacher 7 points, wins the 2012 championship. I'd like to welcome the world champion on Racing Fan Radio here. Antron, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, guys?
You know, that was really a stupid question of me asking you how you're doing. You're on top of the world, man. Of course you're doing well.
Hey, I'm feeling good right now, and everything's been going great. I mean, it's all that we expected as a team, and then some. It just, we've been working so hard in the sport of NHRA just to get to this point to be called world champs, and we worked so hard, and we fell short in 2009. In 2011, we were really, really close, and and this year here we just kept on going back, and we just kept on working harder, and it paid off because this year we snuck it out, and we still had some bad mishaps at the end, but we were still able to bring that championship trophy home, and let me tell you something, this Christmas is going to be a whole bunch better.
Yeah. You know, Antron, I don't take and pick too many drivers as some of my favorites, but I will tell you this, and it's not because you're on the air with me, that you are one of my favorite top fuel
I will
drivers.
vouch for that,
and I'll tell you, there's a few reasons why, and I just want to bring up one that really stands out with me is you every time I watch you when I've been to a live event, coming back from the run in your vehicle, you're hanging out that door waving to your fans. I mean, you have a passion for those fans and appreciation. And I tell you what, it shows. A lot of drivers come back and they don't, acknowledge their fans or whatever. And you really go the extra mile. And I think you're a class act. I'd just like to say that to you personally.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Well, the thing about it is that what takes you back is I remember when I was that kid going to the drag races when I was from when I was like 4 years old, 6 years old to 8 to 10, and going up there and seeing all those drivers, and getting the same deal back from them, and now that I'm in that same spot, it's time to give back, and that's what makes our sport of NHRA so unique, is because when you're able to go out there and give that back to the fans, man, and you never know who's going to be the next one sitting in that seat, and I hope one day I could be a team owner and one of these kids that came up to me in the back of my trailer and talked to me, that I can give them the opportunity like I got to actually be a professional racer in this sport.
Has the notion, the thought of winning the championship really sunk in yet? You got your head around it yet?
No. It just feels so for real, like so real. Just like it feels like we're dreaming. It feels like we're in this dream, and I haven't woke up yet because where I came from in Chesterfield, New Jersey, and you think about it, it's like I made it a pro stock motorcycle, and I thought that was a dream. I raced there for 10 years, and I never thought that I could race a Top Fuel car or a funny car, because I was like, man, you got to have somebody give you a chance, or you have to come from Nitro, or you have to have that last name, and to get in that deal, like a Dixon or a Bernstein or something like that, or to get an opportunity to do something like that or do something very unique in the alcohol ranks. And I came from neither of them, and I got the chance with David Powers back in 2008 to do this with the Macro Tools, and once I got the opportunity, man, I just put my head down because I never drove a race car before. I just gave it all I had, and I was very blessed to be on a great team with a great group of guys back then who really brought me along the way, because they took a kid that never drove a Top Fuel car and made a national champion out. The first year, went after qualified number one at the first race, and we won 2 races, and we competed for a championship the first year out. And that was just tells you how great of a team I was on, and I learned so much and came so far since then. And it feels real great to be on top of the mountain for once and look down and say, we did it this year. We did it this year, boys.
That's right. I did that. Hey,
so we.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. It's a you, but I know how you feel it's a we, because there's so many hands that are on that car and so many hands that help you get to that pinnacle. How tough was it after going out at the World Finals, knowing that you were not in control of your own destiny, and knowing what that damn Tony Schumacher has done at the World Finals to win the championship. How unsettled were you waiting?
It was the worst position to be in because how good that team is and what they do, and how they used to do it in history. We didn't want to be a part of that Cinderella story, you know. And he's done it numerous times, over and over and over again. And I was like, not this time. And all we had to do is just do what we normally do. And what we've been normally doing is just going rounds at every race. And we just had two bad problems that just took us out. That literally just took us out of contention. And we're like, here we go again. And we had a big enough point gap to get the job done because it's not like easy feat that he still had to go out and win the race. But he's been known to win a race and to go out there and actually and set a world record and win races. So with that being said, I mean, it felt good to get it done. It felt really, really good to get it done, and it was just incredible. And he was a good champ because he, like, win or lose or draw, me and him went up and told each other good luck in that final round. I said, man, if you get it, you deserve it. And he said, well, champ, he said, if we don't win, he said, you deserve it. So that's the kind of teammate you have in Tony Schumacher, and he's just a great 7-time world champ.
You know, in the NBA and some of these other national series or whatever, they get really nice rings and things of that nature. How do you guys celebrate? What is NHRA? I mean, is it just that one world championship trophy, or what do you do? What do they get for the whole team?
The whole team gets championship trophies, but they're a little different, like Wally's. And then after that, what they do is they all get rings. They get these big world champ rings, like a Super Bowl ring,
nice,
with the diamonds in them and everything else. And everybody gets a nice, hefty, big bonus check off the one big check that we get at the end of the year. So it's pretty cool. It just feels so good just to get that and to be able to say the guys look back and like, man, you know what? We finally did it. It's just being there in the realm of people just giving their respect to be in a realm that a lot of people are not in. You got to remember, our sport's been going on for 61 years. There's only been 18 different champions in Top Fuel racing, and we're the 18th one.
Mm.
Did you get a chance, or did you take the time during the season, or when it looked like you really had a real strong shot at winning the championship, did you ever sit down with Oswald, who's won a world championship, and try and get a feel for what he went through and what you're looking forward to?
Oh, absolutely. That's one person that we all lean on, even including our head crew chief on our team, Bryant Karate. Him and Oswald are co-crew chief, but Bryant is really our head crew chief, and Mark is the secondary crew chief, where Bryant makes the final decisions on what we all want to do all the time. And Brian's young. Brian is 44 years old, and me being 36. Mark's been out here for some years as a driver, as a fabricator building these cars, and as a crew chief tuning them. So when you see him just come there with his mindset, because he's been in these situations, he's just like, his nickname is Iceman, because we call him cold as ice. He's just there in that moment, and he is just like cool, calm, and collective. And he always stays poised, and he always stays sharp. And whatever we need to do or build, he's innovative. He builds different things. He invents new things and brings new technology to the team. And he's a great engineering guy, and he's just a great dude. I mean, when I'm out there driving the car, I come back and say, Mark, what about this? He said, oh, you're doing fine. He said, do what you do here, do there. He said, don't overthink it. Just do what you do. And then we'll come back. We'll analyze different things. Say, Antron, if you do this, you can do that. And I mean, he's really made me come a long way as a driver. Him and Bryant both. Bryant never drove one of these cars, but he's been with so many different people as drivers where he knows how to manipulate it, look at it, and critique it. And our head's wide open. We have great communication on our team where we're helping each other be better. And I think that's the reason why our team has grown leaps and bounds. We've been in the sport for 4 years. Now this is the 4th year as being teams with each other. And everything speaks for itself, all the race wins we have. I mean, since 2009 we've been together. And if I calculate up right, we won 19 races together in 4 years, and won a world championship and competed for 3 of them, and we won 1 of them. So that's something to really be said how great this team is.
Folks, we're talking with Top Fuel world champion, driver of the Mako Tools dragster, Antron Brown. Antron, have you had a chance to do anything exciting, take a vacation or anything like that, or is there just no rest for the weary?
There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Only thing I did was right after we did the award ceremony, I flew down to Louisiana with my wife, right from California, and I raced the RC boat race that I'm in. I'm into a lot of RC boat racing stuff. So I raced down there, and it was pretty cool. And we actually popped a surprise birthday party off for my wife. That's what my wife's family's for, because she turned 40 years old, and all of her family and all of her high school friends and everything for her down there. So that was really, really cool to lay back and do that for about we were down there for about 5 days. Then we came back up here, and we went right back to work in the race shop. And we're already working on the stuff for next year with our new cockpit cars, where we have the enclosed cockpit on our race cars. So we got 2 of those going on right now, where they're getting together. And then been working with our safety company, getting some new safety stuff done. And we just been at full blast at work. And today we're actually going to be in a parade here at our local parade in our local township, Brownsburg, and with all our race stuff and everything else like that. So that's going to be pretty cool for the first time. It's like a Christmas of Lights parade. So there's a lot of cool things going on right now. But right after the Christmas and holidays, we go testing in West Palm right away. So we're getting ready to do all that stuff. And after that, then me and the wife, we have a week plan to take off and go down to the Caribbean or something like that and get away from everything to really lay back. And I think that's when once we slow down, that maybe this NHRA 2012 World Championship is going to sink in a little bit.
Would you like Steve and I to carry your bags on that trip?
Come on, man. Y'all more than welcome.
I know my wife's listening. You heard that, dear.
All right, looking ahead to 2013 now, obviously there is a seat to fill within the camp there at Don Schumacher Racing. Unfortunate situation that happened with Spencer Massey. I really don't want to get into that, but I just want to ask you, who would you like to see in that seat competing against you? And working with you, for that matter, really.
You know, the thing about it is that I couldn't think of a more deserving driver right now that's in our stables, that's been there for the last couple of years at DSR, being like our track guy and everything else. And Tommy Johnson Jr., he's been working hard. He's been digging deep, and I mean, it would be really cool to see him get in there.
Man, that really bites. I thought you were going to say me.
You know?
Damn it.
Well, it's just this guy has lost a ride, and he's doing whatever it takes to try to get back into the sport. And when you see somebody doing like that, I mean, I like to see him. He's been there for a long step away, and you got a lot of other guys out there too, also that's trying to get in there and that's got deals. I mean, I think whoever's the most deserving driver is going to get the deal, and most part of it is if somebody has a deal. If somebody has a deal, I think that's really going to bring them up into the head of the line to really help that deal out, because that's the reason why the deal's really sitting there, is that it doesn't have any funding on it right now. And I know Don and all the marketing people there are working really, really hard they're really close on a few deals to make it happen. But if somebody actually had a deal and wanted to bring it there, and it actually fits in our program, because it's not just about a deal. You have to fit into our program and be competitive, because our guys want to win world championships. They don't want to be out there just to be out there. So I think a lot of that has to do with it also. And we have a great driver in our stable, Tommy Johnson Jr., who's more than paid his dues to make it happen. And it'd be really cool to see him. I mean, he's got my support for sure.
How much influence does the sponsor have in this decision? I mean, will they make a big portion of this decision? Absolutely. I mean, if a sponsor's there, then they have their eyes on a certain person, because at the end of the day, it's more than a sponsor. It's kind of a partnership, and you have companies that have better fits with different drivers and personalities. They got like different deals that fit their attitude. You know what I mean? Like if you look back in our sport, you had WWF wrestling that was in our sport. Well, Jerry Tolliver was their guy. Well, Jerry has that aggressive approach. He's got that attitude, and he fit their deal really well. You know what I mean? And if you have somebody that comes in, just say like a UPS kind of, like UPS was in it. Well, they want somebody that's kind of like,
more laid back, customer service oriented, and somebody that's got a great personality that people come to because of the way they represent and carry themselves. Not very aggressive, not very cocky, but just that customer service deal. So every brand has a different personality and what to fit their brand. And besides that, they also want a person that's going to go out there and win also too. So you have to have the full piece of, you have to have the full, spectrum now to be out here and represent a company, because they want the full gambit. They just don't want somebody that can represent them well. They also want somebody that can go out there and win, and that's going to cater to them 24/7 and give them everything that they want. It's no more just driving a race car good. You got to be a part of that brand to make them out there and go out there and feel that they're getting their full bucks in return back also.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see how that all plays out. There's one other thing I wanted to tell you, and that is at the World Finals, had the chance, went and watched the final round from the racers' bleachers, and I was sitting in front of your kids, and you got a lot of fans up there, but I'll tell you, you don't have any bigger fans than those kids of yours. That was really cool to see their reaction when it all sank in that you were the champion. They went nuts. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's when you're able to share a moment like that, with your family, it's just incredible. And my kids, they know what's going on. They grew up at the drag races, because my whole career since they were little kids, and you guys bring tears to my eye now, so you guys have messed me up. But the thing about it is that they grew up at the drag races. They've been there every step of the way, and that's one thing that I made sure that I've done. That ever since I've been a professional racer, and my wife Billy and I, when we started having kids from Ariana to Anson to Adler, is that we made them part of our lives. I mean, I'm on the road 180 days, and I'm away from home a lot. And our kids come to as many races as they can when they're out of school now. And my wife comes to probably 70% of my races with me. So I make them very a part of everything I do, and that's the reason why our family is so successful the way we are together, because we are together. You know what I mean? Because we stay together. We do everything together. And when they're not a race and I come home and I don't win, my daughter's right there, goes, "What happened, Pops?" He goes, "I can't believe you let him beat you." and then my son Anthony, he's more of the caring one. He's our middle child, and he's starting to race junior drag shows this year coming. And he'll go to me, "Daddy, it's okay, Daddy. Just he goes, you're gonna get him next time." He's the more emotional one, that cares. And my daughter Ariana's the one that puts it to us. And my son Adler, he's just like this. He goes, "Daddy, I can't believe it." He's like Ariana all over again. He goes, "Daddy, I can't believe it." I said, "You got beat again." He goes, "Daddy, what do you have to do for you not to get beat?" And it's so funny because I see myself talking back at me because that's how I talk to them. You know what I mean? And they get to give it back to Daddy. That's what makes it so funny and fun. And that's what it's all about. And we were able to share that moment together in Pomona when we won that championship. It was great. And the next day, it was so funny. I woke up and I see these jokers all up, and they're handing me these pieces of paper. I'm like, "What's this?" They go, "Well, Daddy, you always take us out like when you win a race. Well, after you win a race, you always, as long as we're doing it in school and you win a race, you always take us out and get us something, like a little present from Toys R Us or whatever we want, which it means." Well, we said, since you won the world championship, we thought that we'll put a few things on the list this time. Nice. Oh, you guys are good. You guys are really, really good.
They were thinking about that ahead of time.
Absolutely. They were up in the morning early doing those lists. It was funny.
Well, Antron, couldn't happen to a better guy. Congratulations once again. And now the pressure's on. You got to do it back to back, buddy.
Well, I tell you what, man, we were the last full throttle world champ for NHRA Racing. Now it's the first year of Mellow Yellow, and we're looking really forward to get back out there because the competition ain't going to it's definitely ain't going to get easier. Everybody's getting tougher and rougher, and all these teams are running hard, and they're getting all the right personnel and the right parts and pieces to make it happen. So this next year is going to be even tougher and harder, and we just got to keep our head down and go after it even harder and stronger. So that's what we got to do, and we're ready for that challenge because we're already gearing up for it.
Very nice. Well, hey, thanks for joining the show. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
Anytime. Well, thanks for having me on, fellas, and I really appreciate it. And if we don't get to talk before it, each of you have a blessed Christmas.
You do the
You
same.
too.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Appreciate
again.
you.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye-bye.